Hello, I'm Adam, and welcome in some kind of a scooter selection guide because, well, it looks like I've got pretty decent amount of scooters, and yeah, the purpose of this video is like I will show you the main differences between those scooters, and yeah, it may help you. But before we start with those scooters, I want to talk about other models that I don't got there. I don't got there because those are totally not worth to have. For example, if you spot a Xiaomi Pro or standard Xiaomi scooter with a Lite word, just avoid them because those are totally trash. Yeah, that's the first very important rule. And second thing is regarding other Xiaomi standard models without the Lite. Those are, let's say, fine for childs or very light guys, very light persons. Generally, I wouldn't recommend them if you want to have a significant amount of range. I mean, like over 20 kilometers. If you are aiming for more than 20 kilometers, you should consider better scooters with a better battery. And in this case, I will talk about those scooters and compare them side by side. And yes, so at the beginning we've got the Xiaomi Pro 2, and this scooter is very similar to the standard Pro, and yeah, it's better from the standard Xiaomi scooters because it has about 12,000 milliamp hour battery comparing to almost 8,000, so that's huge amount. And what we can say there, of course on front we can see there is a monoring suspension, because I must say it now, the suspension is totally next level regarding the ride quality. And as we can see, there is an additional battery, so this scooter is made upgraded to 48 volts, and this exact model has about 4,000 kilometers on it, and yeah, it's strong. Everything is fine, and yeah, even the motor, everything is fine. And if I would summarize who would be interested in this model, if you want to have easy easy unlockable speed, and if you are a very light driver under 80 kilograms, and as you can see, the deck size, well, generally I would summarize it's a scooter for girl under 70 kilogram. Yeah, that's very fine for those weight. And yeah, that's it about it. Generally, regarding the handle width, as you can see, this is the Xiaomi Pro, and now F2 Pro is much wider, as we can see. And to be honest, well, wider is totally better. Yeah, and of course Xiaomi wheels is 8.5 inch, and yeah, it's totally, let's say, old construction, and yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't recommend buying now the Pro 2 unless you find it pretty cheap, and you could find it pretty cheap. So it's pretty cheap and reliable, and yeah, from this side it's very good. Motor is great. And what's the secret? This motor with additional 3S battery is behaving amazingly. I mean, it's faster than the next scooter and the G2, but yeah, let's move forward. Deck dimensions, about 15 centimeters, length about 46 or something. Okay, next thing is pretty new construction. It's F2 Pro, and in this case, as I said, the handlebar is very wide, and we've got blinkers which are required for new scooters. and the construction is totally different. As we can see, there are pipes. The tires are 10-inch, and the main difference, it's made from Ninebot, not Xiaomi, but of course Xiaomi and Ninebot yeah, were working together, but anyway. Main difference, you got rear motor, and it's huge difference because the ride quality, I mean the feeling is oh my gosh, totally different. And on front we've got let's say factory suspension. It works somehow, and yeah, it is, but I would say yeah, it's better than nothing, but yeah, it's far away from the suspension that you can have from the aftermarket. Yeah. And regarding parameters, this has same battery size, about 12,000 milliamp hours, but it has worse motor. Unfortunately, nowadays, though, those new generation scooters were very optimized. I mean, on the stock, those are very tuned up, I would say, to have barely that what older scooters has on standard. And nowadays, to even unlock and overclock them, it's hard, and those are, to be honest, not good choice. But if you want to have about 30 kilometers per hour, pretty new build, and yeah, rear motor, which is great, well, I think that's the best option, about under, let's say, $500. And yeah, that I would recommend it. The weight, it weighs 18 kilograms. So yeah, it's light, and it could be great scooter for a girl, which is pretty good anyway. Yeah, as you can see, about 17 centimeters by yeah, 45 or something, about the same. Okay, now is the old tank, I would say. There is my camera, and yeah, I've got on it about let's say 4,000 kilometers. I've got the monorim on the front and the rear, with the Hexaform air suspension. Why Hexaform suspension? Because I feel the road with those. With factory springs, those are springs, those are not suspension, and yeah, that's the main difference. And what I can say about this model, it's tank. I've got factory motor, I've got there, as you can see, this is my charging port. I've got it modified to 20S, so the fully charged voltage is about 84 volts. I can ride it like 60 kilometers per hour without any problem, and yeah, it's tank. Totally, it's massive thing, but look how narrow is the handlebar. Yes, and yeah, I didn't touch the brakes, and yeah, those still perform well. And of course, same as F2 Pro, there are two types of motors for the European countries, and for the rest of the world. Of course, the rest of the world, like USA or China, is motor better and faster. And yeah, that's sad, but in this case I've got the second generation, and it's amazing. Regarding dimensions, 17 centimeters by about 50. Okay. Next is its successor, the Ninebot G2 Max, and well, I would say we got the suspension front and rear, and to be honest, for like a lighter person, let's say under 100 kilograms, it could be great. It will be enough, but we need to be aware that those are springs, and unfortunately, yeah, those are springs. But there we've got suspension, and comparing to F2 Pro, it's totally different story with those two springs on the back. The fun fact is that the controllers in those scooters are exactly same. The main difference between the G2 and F2 comparing to the G30 is that we've got temperature sensor in the motor, because they overclocked them on the stock very hardly, and yeah, we need to monitor the temperature of the motor. This one got modified. As we can see, charging port is modified, 48 volt, and to be honest, Xiaomi Pro 2 rides better, I mean faster. I had to put there crazy numbers, a lot of amps, and I think, and I heard something, that with the next scooter hacking firmware there will be an upgraded handling this model, and I think it will behave better, because now I'm not happy, to be honest, with the acceleration and the overall speed. And the battery, what is interesting in this case is stock battery, and I added the 3S module. Go to my videos for more details. And the Ninebots, the G30 and the G2 has about 15,000 mAh battery. That means a light person can aim for, let's say, over 30 kilometers range, yeah, so that's great. And yeah, in this case we've got two rear motor, which is great. Steering column is pretty wide. It's pretty new thing that they widen the scooters, but yeah, regarding weight, this weighs 24 kilograms, same as my modded Ninebot G30, so yeah, they put there a lot of things, to be honest, and I don't know where, but yeah, that's how it is. And the last thing is the Ninebot, not the Ninebot, the Segway GT1. And I wrote, let's check the steering wheel wide, and yeah, it's wide. One controversial thing, there is a different type of throttle, and to be honest, it's not precise, and at the beginning I didn't like it, but to be honest, it's make fun, because you roll the throttle and you feel something, let's name it. And yeah, two words about the scooter. It's heavy, it's 45 kilograms, but to be honest, if you're a strong guy, it's fine. And now, after like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months since I own it, the weight is a plus, because this thing is so stable, and yeah, it rides great. I mean, you just accelerate and you look on the dashboard and you can see, oh, 40 kilometers per hour. When? Yeah, and yeah, that's the point. I love this, and the weight is a little bit downside, but fortunately I don't have to lift it a lot. And two things what I can say. There is a pretty decent holding point. Yeah, there is nothing, so you can put your hand there. And another spot is around there. Yeah. And to be honest, if you want to take it and just move for a few steps, that's totally okay. Regarding size, the deck size is totally different story, and to be honest, it's most comfortable, of course. Yeah, about 26.5 from this point. Let's say about 55 or even 67 if we count this slope, but to be honest, I don't like those. I would prefer a flat surface, but of course we couldn't have flat surface, because there we've got a huge suspension which is adjustable, and of course on the front we've got another huge suspension which is too adjustable. And to be honest, well, it's not air suspension like I had in G30, so I feel less from the road, but well, it's comfortable, it's more comfortable, so it's different, just it's different, yeah. Okay, so, and yeah, oh, another thing, how does moving it in the home looks like? Well, as you can see, I am using just one hand, yeah. But yeah, it's heavy, it's big. First, my feeling were like on the when I was riding it, it felt like a motorcycle. Because you got that the steering wheel is like massive one, like in the motorcycle. And yeah, so summarizing, somehow we need to summarize it. If you want to buy a scooter for a child and you are on budget, or you just want to have solid option, go for Pro 2 and it will be fine. Go for other Xiaomi scooters, those will be fine. Don't look for the Lite models, yeah? If you want something more, go for F2 Pro, because it's newer version. It has yeah, blinkers, horn, and front suspension. But if you could just add about $100 or even less, you could have G2, yeah? So if your priority is comfort, I would go for G2. I wouldn't recommend G30 because it's old, but it's solid, it's tank. So I would say if you want to have a comfort, go for G2. If you want to tinker, well, think about the G30. But to be honest, the wider steering wheel on the G2 is great, and it's higher. Maybe it's not that higher, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, but G2 is newer construction, which got optimized in cost, etc. But yeah, I would say go for G2 because G30 is too old, and those suspensions cost a lot, yeah, so that's not worth. And regarding GT1, well, why I chose GT1? Because I wanted to next scooter be don't be slower than the existing one, yeah. And that's why I landed with the GT1. And I must say, you need to be a, let's say, geek in scooters to truly see the things that the scooter gives you. You got feeling that you are king of the road, etc. Like you are in the Lamborghini. Because there is nothing faster. Of course, there are some Chinese scooters that are faster, but in this case, we are about at the top of the scooters, the super scooter category, so like the super cars, yeah? And yeah, those are just for the geeks. And yeah, that's it. How I would say the small, brief comparison. I hope I didn't make you bored. If you have any questions, feel free to write the comment. And yeah, I need to do something with those. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and hit the subscribe button. Bye.